my feed thing. Here we go. Oh, I see.
You go live somewhere else?
Well, no, you have to start the stream and then you have to click go live.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you have to do it that way, but that's how you have to do it. So we are live now. I'm pretty sure. What's up, Simon?
Check. Yes, now we are. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was wondering because I got that error message, but I've never seen that before where it was like your stream doesn't auto start when you click start stream, so you have to click go live. And I'm like, that's weird.
OBS for you.
Indeed. All right, Scribbles, one more time.
Oh, sorry. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Lords of the Night. Joining me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
What up?
And the Lord of Pennies, Setsu 2 Cents.
What up, though?
And I'm not your host, Scribelight, the Lord of Punishment. And happy birthday to Satsu.
Yay!
You know what we have to do, Monkey.
I do. Are you ready?
Yes.
And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday to
you. How does that not hurt?
Happy
birthday,
Satsu.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you've had a good one. I really, really do.
I did. And my wife took me to a Korean barbecue place.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah, we went to it was a Korean barbecue and hot pot place, but we didn't do the hot pot because there's a hot pot spot by our house that we go to.
What's a hot pot?
It's basically when you get like some kind of broth or whatever that they boil in front of you, and then they bring out a whole bunch of different vegetables and different meats that you can put into the pot to cook, and then you just kind of eat it like that.
Wow, that sounds like turning your customers into labor.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
Okay, just checking.
But I mean, that's Korean barbecue too. Is literally they just bring you meat and you cook it yourself at the table. Which was pretty good, man. Sometimes you wait so long to go to these type of things, and then you finally do, and you're like, eh. But I was about exactly as pleased as I thought I would be, so that worked out. They didn't.
You're like what now? 22.
What? Excuse me.
What?
Pardon me.
I don't know. How old are you now?
34.
34.
Yeah.
I feel old.
I'm trippy. You said 22. I wasn't 22 when we met. Or was I?
I don't know. I just assume you guys are all babies.
I mean, okay.
Except for Monkey. I mean,
nah,
about to say, Monkey's like 306. What do you mean?
I know, right?
In dog years. In dog years, I am.
So what's been up, boys? What y'all been up to?
Oh, same old, man. Just sitting around, getting older.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Work, and doing streams on the ridiculousness of the world, as always.
Yeah. I only can watch, like I swear, I go in and I pop into the chat and I listen to some of your streams and I'm like, oh, Scribble's on. And then like 10 minutes in, I'm like, God damn it. These fucking people.
To this day, I don't know why I continue torturing myself the way that I do. I say it's for, keeping myself advised of what's going on in the world or what the current thinking is on things. But I think I'm just sort of a intellectual masochist at this point. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably legit. Because I mean, a lot of it is not as painful as it used to be because I'm not like forced to do it every day, and
Yeah.
But it's still just like, ugh.
Well, the interesting thing is that up until relatively recently, I still felt, for the most part, screaming out into the ether or something. But in the last few months, talking about some of the subjects I cover, consistently have become more and more mainstream to debate.
Oh yeah,
that's been interesting to see. Is like see major publications discussing the efficacy of DEI. Like, wow, I never thought I'd see that, honestly. Sometimes I do feel a bit like, hey guys, I've been like, I keep, this is the thing that keeps getting me. I see examples of stuff that I've covered, literally covered in my streams before. Other people like, say, I just found this thing, like Lily Singh on a TEDx, or this video from like 4 years ago. And I'm like, I know, right? Hi. I know, I've been trying to tell people. Anyway, but I'm not bitter. Nah.
You don't sound bitter.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like a lot of the stuff, like you guys been seeing the WNBA stuff that's coming up now a lot
Oh God, I've
for
been
some
loving that
reason.
shit.
Oh, is this the see? I haven't been following that. All I know is the name Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is going to save us all. Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, it's coming up again because she's a really good women's basketball player out of college, and she
Right.
they were just had the WNBA draft, and her pay package came out, and once again we're having the argument about why women aren't paid as much as men.
The answer's still the same.
Still the same, yeah.
Thank you for the happy birthday wishes in the chat, everybody. Welcome to the
Yep.
stream.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yep. How you guys doing? Let's see. Romeo's here. Lion, Joel, Unit, Scribbles in the chat. Hey, Scribbles.
Hello.
Shady, what's up? Yeah,
I'm in the chat, but I'm lurking.
you always lurking.
And I advertised on my Discord, so other people should know now or in the future.
Nice. Congrats on the new job. Yes, I will be starting my new
What
job.
about the Jobby job. When is this jobby job?
Sometime next week, I think. I don't know if they're waiting until my wife is out of work, like stops working completely before they put me on, but I told them that my wife will still be working for another week, so I did my physical and I'm still waiting for them to contact me about scheduling stuff, but they haven't yet, so I guess I'll just be on standby until then, but I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll be fine. I'll be a chef or a cook, I guess I should say, at a nursing home.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
He gonna make a lot of oatmeal.
Feeding old folks grilled cheese sandwiches and bland mac and cheese.
It's not gonna be bland if you're making it.
Well, you know, I don't know how fancy I can get considering it. All these people have dietary restrictions.
That's true too, I suppose.
So it's one of those situations. But the kitchen looks nice. The person who hired me seems to be pretty nice. There wasn't just me. There was a ton of people in that kitchen, so it seems like a big team effort. It's a lot of prep. They got like the menu changes every day, and you know they got like all kinds of stuff. It seems like they cook a lot of things in bulk, and mostly everything is cooked from scratch for the most part.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, I'm down.
Yep, the elder care industry is already and is going to be more so booming every year as it goes on because all the baby boomers are aging into that territory and plus now.
Mm-hmm. Just imagine nursing homes in like 20, 30, 40 years from now. It's going to be...
when we're
I
there.
already am. Well, with the experience of my grandmother that I witnessed and now my parents moving into their decidedly twilight years, it's something that hasn't escaped my attention as well, trying to think about the future, but not dwelling on it too much, but got to keep it at least partially in mind.
Well, I know a lot of people are joking about nursing homes having Megan Thee Stallion bumping and old people twerking. And
Oh, God.
like the music's going to be very, very different in old folks' homes pretty soon.
I know. All the class is going to go away. You think about old people and sort of old-fashioned manners and styles, and like you say, music and everything else that we sort of appreciate and just thinking about like Gen Z in the nursing home. What the heck is that gonna look like?
God, dude.
Yeah.
Half the residents got gaming consoles and
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And they're all tied straight into their brains at that point.
Oh, geez. I mean, I don't know, because like it doesn't seem like obviously technology hasn't been moving as some people have predicted, because You watch a
Where's
lot
my
of
moon base?
well, yeah, a lot of TV shows back in the day. 2024 was like flying cars and
I
all that
know.
shit. But
I'm still angry about that.
trust me, you don't want no flying cars.
No, I don't want not with Boeing building them.
No doubt.
we definitely don't want flying cars yet. You think texting while driving is bad? Man, texting while flying. Well, then again, I don't know. Like, are they all basically going to be Teslas at that point? Will they just drive themselves?
No, they'll have sold them all, but they won't have been made yet.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Elon loves selling things that never exist. Still
Hey,
waiting
if
for
you're
that
gonna sell
Hyperloop.
something, that's the way to do it, man.
Seems like a lot of
if
people
you
doing
can get
that.
away with it, and people don't complain, like always just waiting.
We'll just get in the
Waiting
video
by
game
overhead.
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like NFTs and crypto. It's just like one of these days, guys, it's gonna come true.
Well, I mean, crypto and stuff is in full swing right now. People are taking it relatively seriously. I don't know, man.
Until that dude set himself on fire over it.
Yeah, what I don't.
Oh,
what was up with
man.
that? I didn't know.
So I literally got traumatized yesterday because I clicked on that video not knowing what it was before I looked at it. And I just saw the still image before I hit the play button, right? And it just said outside Trump trial. And I thought, my first thought was Molotov cocktail or something like that, or some protester like did something
Right.
destructive. Obviously, that's pretty much what happened, but not in the way that I thought. So I click on the video and it starts playing. And it took my brain a second to recognize what I was seeing. And I was just, just horrified because, well, I don't want to get too graphic for the sake of a birthday stream, but geez, he went up like a candle.
I just laughed my ass off watching the CNN lady report it.
Oh, that was something that was like,
Oh,
oh,
fuck.
humanity.
Because she starts out yelling, "There's an active shooter," and then she realizes what
Right.
actually happened, and she
Active
starts
shooter.
play by playing this dude flambeing himself.
Oh, God, it was so cringe.
I was gonna put on Twitter what this really needs is color commentary, but she's black, so I didn't.
Oh my god! Y'all see what understatement said? Chat.
I did
No.
not. Oh, nice! He's on fire.
That's fucked.
I love me some NBA Jam, man.
I didn't even like. I heard about. I didn't even know. I still didn't know. I'm like, what? What was the? What did he do that for? Like,
Well, I saw his manifesto.
Did you read it? It's
I read the first like page or so of it. Yeah.
basically he thinks there's a bunch of rich people screwing everybody over, and that crypto was brought in to collapse financial markets.
So basically, just a Wednesday.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. He used this event to warn the world about the grand conspiracy that is likely going to take over everything. And, he might be 100% right. Totally not worth lighting yourself on fire for.
Look, he was not wrong about everything he said in his manifesto.
Well, no,
He's
he
just
wasn't.
Still fucking insane. He set
Yeah.
himself on fire.
Yeah, well, every good conspiracy theory needs some elements of truth.
Ain't this the
even if the
second
rest is
person to
nonsense.
set themselves on fire in like a couple months?
Yeah,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
guy was protesting the war in Gaza or whatever, if I'm not mistaken, and then this guy was just trying to get attention to his grand concern, I guess.
So how do you check the progress on whether or not what you did worked? If you
Yeah, well, I mean, for a little bit there, he survived. I mean, he was alive afterwards for a while, which I just found absolutely horrifying, more so than the act itself. Because I thought if that guy actually survives this, he is going to be in such a living hell. Just mutilated and in pain and disfigured and but he passed away last night apparently.
also thank you, Random, for the birthday wishes. Much appreciated, guys. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like half of the stuff, like stories like that, I'll see the headline and I'm just like, I'm not looking that shit up. Like, nope.
Yeah, it was one of those things like so many other times in the past where I've like clicked on a video before reading the thing, leaping before I looked, and I was like, oh no, what am I doing?
No, I saw
this.
because somebody had linked the that CNN reporter, and they'd actually transcribed what she said, so I knew what I was getting into.
Oh, okay, all right.
because I'd already heard the story, and I wasn't gonna go look until I read the transcript. I'm like, okay, I got to hear this.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't hear the transcript. I saw Monkey tweet about it though.
They only show him burn for a second, so if you can put up with that, I do recommend it because it's horrible because the dude died, but her play-by-play is fantastic.
I just could not imagine like being asked to could you like give us a rundown, a quick play-by-play of this dude's demise, and she's like, okay, I guess.
No, she just goes into it. I don't even think a producer said anything to her.
No,
'cause
she didn't have.
in
There was no
sight of
time
it.
to. She was reacting to like I said, active shooter, and then all of a sudden she just went straight into describing what was happening. I mean, in a way, I suppose it's old radio training, right?
It is.
It's like when you're live, you there's no camera, you just have to sort of paint the picture for the audience, etc. And that's yeah, she got her bases covered there, I suppose. They can play that stuff on the radio all day.
I like when she starts describing, and now you can smell it. We're getting the smell of cooked flesh over here.
Oh God.
What?
It's just
Yeah, it's great.
No.
reminds me of my uncle's barbecue.
It's like that Korean barbecue that Satsu had.
Somebody's
exactly.
celebrating 4th of July a little early, I see. Like, oh, my
We're gonna call this the Trump hot pot.
God. Yeah. Oh, that's.
Also, this is a birthday stream, everybody.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Hey.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know.
Any other tragedies we want to discuss?
Well, I mean, there's only so much I can talk about my birthday.
I
People, I'm pretty sure people ain't that interested in how it feels to be 34.
Well, tell us about the little princess.
Oh, she's doing great. She's
Yeah.
been going to school. She's still a little she still needs some help a little bit in the verbal department, but
Mm-hmm.
she's a lot more talkative, and she wakes up in the morning and helps me make her breakfast every morning, and runs around like a maniac for a while, and then she goes to school, and then she comes home and she eats again, and then she runs around like a maniac some more. Like that's pretty much her daily schedule. And she sings though. Like you can't hold a conversation with her or ask her a question, but she be singing her ass off. Like
Good.
she know a bunch of different songs, and either she'll be sitting there just twiddling her thumbs, humming something or singing something, or if something's playing on the TV, she's singing and dancing. Yeah, she's a big girl. Shady said, "What? I thought you were in your 20s. Why would you think you
I
were-"
know, right? See, that's what I'm talking about.
No. Hold on. We've been knowing each other for how long? At least what?
About 7-8 years now.
7 or 8 years, right? If he thought I was in my 20s now, like, how old did you think I was when we started Lords?
Well,
Yeah, we brought
obviously a
Satsu into
teenager.
this when he was 13,
Yeah.
I know.
when he could first legally be on YouTube.
Yeah, that time of the month, and he was like just turning 13.
Yeah.
Which
I came
is
up with
when
the
a lot of
name,
people
which
find out about that.
which is what made it so funny. Human flesh is supposed to smell like pork when cooked. Is that why they call it? What is it? Long pork?
Long pig.
Long pig?
Yeah. That's the theory.
Some information.
They
I
just
don't
had
need.
like didn't they just like successfully transplant some pig part into a person? I read a story about that the other day. They did
Recently?
some kind of
I know I saw something like that a while
within the
ago.
last month or something. I know they've tried it before, but there was some recent story in the last month or so where, God, what was it? Was it a heart? I thought it was something very important that they transferred. I can't remember exactly what it was,
Mm,
but it was some major accomplishment, I guess, medically.
I don't know, but it wouldn't be surprising, to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if in case somebody was doing crap like that.
Yeah. I always get skeptical of that kind of thing, miracle, this, that, or the other, especially when it comes to like Alzheimer's or cancer or something. I was like, So,
Well, I don't know. I'm one of those people, I put my tinfoil hat on, who believes that there is a cure for all that shit already. They're just not allowed to use it.
actually, it's all hiding in the Amazon. That's what I learned from the Sean Connery classic Medicine Man.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Medicine Man.
Playing an intense game of hide and seek. that we are still losing, by the way.
That's one of those. That's a movie I wanted to do on our movies you should have watched. Monkey Medicine Man.
I've never seen it.
I still have whatever it's called, Plow Hard with Liam Neeson.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I remember y'all talking about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Still got to do that sometime. My copy is like still wrapped in plastic, just waiting to be opened.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it.
Neither have I, so I'm still waiting.
Plow Hard.
I can't remember Cold Pursuit. That's what the real name is, but I just thought a guy who drives a snowplow, I got to call it Plow Hard.
Oh my god, you guys want to talk to it? Let's see. We'll see if Aaliyah will talk to you.
Sure.
She talks to me.
Oh, does she? I haven't talked to Lee in a long time.
Oh well, you'll be surprised. Hold on.
Oh, okay. What the hell? Like calling Igor or something.
Come here, baby. Say hi, monkey.
Hi, Leah.
Say hi, scribe.
Hi, Leah. How are you?
How are you? No, how are you? No, how are you?
How are you? That's what she's saying.
That's what it is.
Yeah, she's a parrot. She literally just repeats.
Oh, okay.
Everything that she...
Happy birthday, Daddy.
Where you going? Say happy birthday, Daddy. Happy birthday.
Aw.
Yeah, she was running around
man.
here when my mom got here. She was running circles around here like, it's Daddy's birthday.
Yay.
Mommy like, are you excited? She's like, are you excited? Yeah, she's a big girl. I opened the door though, so she took this opportunity to run downstairs to go harass her mom. Yeah.
As she should.
Yeah, 'cause she was playing in her room and she came in here like, oh, hello, how's it going? Now's my chance to sneak away. So now she's gone. But you guys got to hear her for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe
And how's Miss Squishy doing?
She's doing good. She's pretty happy. We're tagging out again. Because you know we've been doing this for a while where she works and I'm not, and I work and she's not, and now she's gonna get a break for a while, so she's gonna be home with Aaliyah and doing some side hustles. Now that she got a car and stuff, she's been cruising around, getting used to driving.
So you're gonna do some DoorDash or whatever?
Yeah. She's already tried DoorDash. She did a little bit of Instacart. She tried Amazon Flex, I think it's called. Yeah, some of that stuff or whatever. So she didn't like the Instacart too much, and she does DoorDash every now and then, but her first Flex didn't go amazing, so she was just like, but apparently flexing is the way to make the most money, so she's like, I think that's the one I'm gonna do. Yeah, so she's kind of pumped to be being home, but I already know what's gonna happen.
Uh-oh.
I already know it's the same thing that happened last time, because when we tagged out last time and I was working and she wasn't, I would come home and she just like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like,
Exactly.
she's like, I feel like I need to be doing something and I'm
I'm
not.
struck with too much free time. What am I gonna do?
Show her how to stream, man.
Man, look,
Exactly.
I wish just have her blow up. Yeah.
Have her stream or get a hobby.
Well, that's what she wants to like. She likes baking and stuff like that or whatever, and making jams and different things like that. So she was kind of getting into it for a little bit, but she didn't have a whole lot of time. So maybe,
Bro, Squishy's jellies sell themselves.
Yeah.
yeah, basically.
Jamming with Squishy. There you go. There's your streaming series.
Squishy's jam. Yeah, she makes some good ones too. Like she's bought like whenever we have fruit in there that we weren't using or was about to go bad or whatever, she turned it into like a preserve or jam and stuff, and it's good.
Oh wait, jam 2 cents. I got it right there.
Jam 2 cents. Instacart was money during the pandemic. Yeah, well, once again, we have ourselves a situation where when the money was good, we weren't thinking about it. But now that it's oversaturated, we're like, we're going to try this now because I'm always fucking too late to everything. Just like I was with the fucking crypto mining. I got the ass end of that. and started making money on that way too late. And then the actual, like, you know, crypto stuff, got into that. It was like, well, you're just in time to be late for everything. YouTube was another thing I got in way too late.
Oh yeah, man. I wish I'd started 3 years earlier before the adpocalypse.
Oh God,
damn.
yeah.
Oh man,
And
I had so much time. Like when I think about
yeah,
all the time I spent playing, I'm talking about wake up 8 a.m. playing video games until like fucking 3 a.m. going to sleep and then waking back up and doing the same fucking thing for months on end. Just like, what were you fucking thinking, dude? And most of that time I was watching fucking YouTube videos. Never occurred to me that I could be
I just
doing
remember
it.
I just remember talking to Gutenberg
Mm-hmm.
and about the paychecks he was pulling down on his videos before the adpocalypse, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
man.
oh my god. He's
Joseph,
like,
thank
yeah,
you.
it's great getting like a check for $3,000 every month. I'm like,
I swear. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Appreciate you. Still on time for OnlyFans. Yeah, Squishy. Squishy for some reason thinks I have a promising career on OnlyFans, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Well, you know, OnlyFans doesn't have to be adult content. You can do other things.
Well, you can.
You just won't make any money.
Well, I know. I didn't say you would. I'm just saying you can.
But I want to make money.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want to make. Speaking of, we were just talking about because the whole NBA pay gap or whatever versus WNBA. I'm like, dude, models, OnlyFans people, and people in the prawn industry, like, women make 3 to 4 times as much as men across the board. Like, not even just like, oh, there's some outliers. It's just like, no, flat out. Like, if you're a dude in any of those industries, you just expect to not make as much money as everybody else. And not a single person has anything to say about that. I'm like, what? And that's like egregious. It's just like, yeah, this is so blatant. And it's like industry wide, just like a total norm. But, you know,
Yeah, and people look for not the male actor, but the female that they're performing with more so than the male themselves. Most
Yeah.
times. Yeah. So those WNBA players would be better off doing OnlyFans on the side.
well, let's be fair. Half of them probably are.
Let's be fair. Nobody wants to see those girls naked.
Well, no, let's not say that. I don't know because
Everybody's got their thing, monkey.
I'm
Everybody's
telling
got
you,
their thing.
look.
Well, they got their thing too. That's why they should be playing in the NBA.
Whoa!
Bro. That's
All right, look, I said this the other night on my stream. Tell me it ain't true. The girls in the WNBA look like somebody mixed a big buff dude and a horse.
Well, it always reminds me of the joke about like the German swim team from like the 80s kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a bit too much. Yeah.
Like, wow, that onesie looks like it fits really snug on her balls.
Jesus.
Monk. Jeez. Why you gotta be
Yeah,
like
what
that?
is up with Brittany Griner these days, anyway?
Oh my god.
Was that her name? Was it,
Yes,
was
she,
it Brittany?
she got
Brittany?
home
Okay.
safe, so it's all good.
That's right. Yeah, before the war broke out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that whole situation.
Yeah.
At least I think it was before the war broke out. I can't remember. now.
No, actually, the war had already started.
Had it? Okay.
Yeah,
My
'cause there were-
timeline's all screwed up. I tell you,
there
ever
were
since
some
the
people who tried saying that the whole reason Russia took her was to try to force our hand. Like,
oh.
yeah, that they thought that WNBA player was worth that.
I
Was
guess
she-
That was the best they could do.
That was like she was over there while Biden was in, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they thought Biden was gonna do, really. Like he was gonna break his neck to try to like Biden don't even know where he at. Like, what do you mean? Which is so funny because I think I saw a stand up the other day where this dude was like, he was like, our president has fallen more than any political leader ever. He was like, and that's just crazy. He was like, Biden falls so much that I don't think I remember the last time I seen him standing upright.
Oh, he's given the stereotype of Gerald Ford a run for his money.
And what was so funny is he was like, Biden falls so much that I just made that shit up and everybody in here believed me. He was like, I just made it up. He was like, Biden didn't fall recently. I didn't see that shit at all. But everybody in here didn't. Not a single person doubted it. That's how much that motherfucker be falling. And
Well,
I'm
not
like,
only
yeah.
that, but this is how much people actually pay attention to him at public events these days.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you could believe it because nobody. There was a picture or something of him showing up at some event or some venue or something, and 0 people showed up to see him. It was
Yeah.
it's really sad.
Bye, Aaliyah.
Bye, Aaliyah.
Just a distant bye. Yeah, she goes down the stairs. Oh, uh-oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
She's showing her the power of magnets, so now she's about to be playing at the fridge for hours.
Magnets, how do they work?
Well, you see, Scribe,
Mm-hmm.
when a magnet and metal love each other very much.
Exactly, yeah. That would have probably been the Dark Ages explanation for it. It's like, oh, these materials, they have love for each other in the universe.
That's right. And they form a bond. It's very, very difficult to break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. See, I want to... Like, sometimes I get the urge to, like, talk about some of this stuff in, like, video form and stuff again, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
I don't know, man. Because here's the thing. I'll be hyped to talk about it, and I'll get the motivation where it's just like, I want to talk about this stuff because I got something to say. And it'll be that moment of like, I'm in content creation mode. But then I'll start looking more into it, and then I'll just get angry. And I'm like, see, now I'm just angry again, though. So I'm like, I don't know.
that's why you got to strike while the iron's hot. You're inspired and you research on the stream.
Yeah,
That's what I've been doing with this bridge thing. Have you guys heard about bridge yet?
Oh,
No.
yeah. Well, I've heard about it through you now. And every time
Yeah,
I hear more
so-
about it, I'm just like,
Well, the pattern I'm seeing, and I'm speaking here as a non-expert, but the pattern I'm seeing is that with DEI in under attack as much as it has been since the affirmative action decision, the opposition has forced the DEI industry to sort of circle the wagons, and so
Mhm.
you're starting to see a lot of these organizations really starting to thrive under the idea of bringing all the CDOs or chief diversity officers together to sort of take care of one another. There's a site out there called board.org, BOARD, and they have this subsection product that is a platform, an NDA confidential communication platform, I assume like Slack or Discord or something, that's just for diversity officers and the like to talk to each other and to strategize and to share and to support one another. Because I looked at a series of little videos from these guys a week or two ago, and there was one word that kept coming up when they were describing their work process, and that was loneliness. It is a very lonely job to be a CDO. And I started thinking, they never explain exactly why, but I started thinking about like, well, you know, being a chief diversity officer is probably one of the few titles in a corporate structure where your title does not describe a functional skill. Right, because if I'm the chief financial officer, well, presumably I have like an accounting degree or something. If I'm the chief marketing officer, likewise, and so on. How is diversity a skill? How is diversity a bankable trade? It isn't. It doesn't apply to anything, but it's supposed to be embedded in everything all at once. So when the chief diversity officer shows up to the sales department, what exactly do they have to offer career professionals in sales? Nothing. What do they have to offer the financial guys down in accounting? Nothing. I just like they have to be there because of, you know, corporate fiat, but they don't have any place that they fit. So it's probably really is a really lonely job.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
It's
they also tend to be assholes. So who wants to?
Well, that's
talk
the
to
other
them?
part too. But this bridge thing, they're having to change their whole structure on how they approach this now in order to try to sell it to new people. So this bridge thing purports to be a trade organization for chief diversity officers or the diversity set. Except that if you look at their materials and you read through their stuff and you listen to their officers, it's just another diversity consulting company. We'll come to your company and measure your, this is the new thing now, inclusion maturity index. And then we'll tell you how to fix it. And I have the charts that they are using to measure your inclusion maturity index, and it's absolute snake oil. Absolute snake oil, but it's just the same old thing, song and dance of DEI. They create a problem that doesn't really exist, but they tell you it exists, and then they offer the solution.
Well,
Yeah.
when I heard them making the explanation, I was watching you watch the video. Like, all the terminology that they use is literally up for interpretation. Like every buzzword that they have is a word that means nothing, but absolutely something depending on who you're talking to. So like one of their favorite things is we want to see if you're showing up. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? What does showing up mean specifically? Because that could literally mean anything depending on who you're talking to. And I'm like, every word that they use to describe what they provide to you is a term that is completely up for interpretation. Like anybody, it can mean anything to anyone, and it can mean everything to everyone, depending.
Right.
And I'm just like, what the hell?
And the other thing they always do is they wrap absolutely common sense ideas within a DEI or now bridge context. So it's like, well, we want to improve the retail experience for inclusion at our stores. And so what we do is we make sure that the customers feel welcome.
Oh,
like,
real quick. Thank you so much,
what-
Meowsers, for the donation. Appreciate it. Happy birthday, Satsu. Enjoy your day. I have been enjoying it thus far, and I will continue to do so. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Meowsers.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, so but bridge is just I forget what the acronyms are. It's like belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity, and then equity. And they leave the G out because the G represents the gap in your. No, I'm not kidding. That is literally what the G is for. The G represents the gap in your inclusion maturity or something. So basically, just in the racial demographics of your workforce, the disparity between one column and the other is what you have to solve for, because obviously that's an inequity.
So the G must have been where they were keeping all the logic and consistency.
Well, I suggested if they really wanted to fill it out, why not use gratitude? Well, that sounds like a pretty good word to put in there. It sounds nice and friendly and everything.
Well, no, because you're not supposed to be grateful for the opportunities. You deserve them. You're not.
Or I think I put it somewhere in one of my streams. I said, I guess G is just the spot where it belongs.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad. But the really funny part about the lady who runs it, she's originally from South Africa, and she talked about having grown up in the era of apartheid. And then she says, and then she immigrated to America, and we have similar problems here. And I'm like, wait, what? When did you move to America again? The 90s? So wait, wait, apartheid? Really? Oh man, nutballs, all of them.
These people are crazy, and they live in these fucking time capsules where nothing moves, like no progress is made, no nothing. It's just like this problem is a consistent problem. It can't be solved. There's no way to fix it, but we have to keep fighting it forever.
Well, it's the only way. It's the only way to maintain a couple of things. The only way to maintain their sense of self, because some are such true believers, they've built their entire self-identities and sense of self-worth around the idea that they are the enlightened warrior against injustice.
Mm.
But more so than that, they have to preserve their careers, because this is it. If DEI falls by the wayside, nearly every one of these guys has absolutely no other bankable skills. And DEI is a big industry, or was a big industry until about 2 years ago. And then they started cutting the budgets and everything. So yeah, this is what I'm seeing with these circling the wagons things, these bringing together all these company executives into these kumbaya clubs and everything. It's the last gasp of a desperate industry, because it's going nowhere, and it's going to wither on the vine pretty quick, I think.
Thank you, Attack Alpaca. The old Lords of the Night gang back together. Happy birthday, Satsu. Thank you. I mean, I kind of see it as a good sign though. Like if they're gathering together in their secret little groups where like everything is NDA and you're not even allowed to talk about it, and they're trying to like scramble to like support each other, that means that they're losing. So
there's that, but you also have to remember that nothing gets more dangerous than an animal backed into a corner.
That's true.
And there are zealots within the big banking entities like BlackRock, like Vanguard. I mean, the CEO of BlackRock, he was just caught on a live mic or phone call last week or whatever, essentially losing his mind in frustration over all the criticism that DEI has been getting and everything.
Yep.
And
funny, too.
so, huh?
Said it was funny too.
It was hilarious, but I also think, regardless of how funny it is, this guy wields an incredible amount of power over some major institutions. So if those major institutions are already bought into this whole thing and they're trying to please daddy for that next paycheck, who knows what they'll do in the short term to try to placate him. But
Well,
anyway, time will tell.
also too, like
Well-
the pendulum is already swinging in the opposite direction because, like, look at what's happening to Disney and all these places. Like, they're actively firing and getting rid of these people because it's like, y'all have cost us so much fucking money at this point. Like, if we want to stay financially afloat, like, we literally have to get rid of you.
Well,
thing is-
unfortunately, no, they doubled down on that. They just had their stockholder meeting and shareholder voting session, and they kept Bob Iger in, the same guy that has captained the entire downfall. They had the opportunity to add people to the board of directors who would keep him in check, but the shareholders were convinced otherwise or didn't pay enough attention to what's going on. So a lot of what's going on, and there are YouTubers out there that know this much better than I do, like Tom Connors, like WDW Pro. A lot of the firings or contractions and spending and things might be for financial reasons, but I don't think they're for ideological reasons. I think Disney is still pretty a sour place to be at this stage of the game. But who knows? Maybe the market will find a way. We'll see.
All they're going to do is rebrand it. Bridge might not work for them, but they'll find another way to rebrand
Oh, yeah.
it. It's what they do when stuff fails.
Oh yeah. University of Oklahoma, they had their diversity and inclusion department, right? They had their DEI department. Well, with state laws in opposition to diversity programs and things coming down, they literally, and I can use that word genuinely this time, they literally just changed the title of the department and people's job titles to different words and kept everybody in the exact same spot. That's all they're doing. I mean,
Sounds about
everybody's
right.
trying to find a way. Everybody's looking at California as a model, especially in education, as to what to do, because California outlawed affirmative action back in '96. And ever since then, California schools have done everything short of technically breaking the law to still impose the same kind of programs and still come up with the same kind of numbers as any school that had affirmative action. So everybody's looking at California, who's had like 30 some odd years of practice
To
at,
figure out how to get around. And all this.
yeah, how to find loopholes around the law without technically breaking anything. And part of it is just the simplest, just put on a new coat of paint and run with it.
Unit said Satsu is a white supremacist. I am the darkest white supremacist I know, other than Uncle Ruckus. I think he probably got me a little bit.
Or that Dave Chappelle skit where you have like the blind
Yeah.
Ku Klux Klan wizard is just a black guy sitting on a porch.
Well, I mean, people have even though I have very lovingly given the title to Biden since he already claimed to be a Negromancer.
That's right, yeah.
I've also been called such things. I don't know why though. I don't possess the ability to tell black people whether or not they're black if they don't vote for you. Only Biden can do that. And
I'm waiting for what memes come out of the campaign season once we get going here in the summertime.
man, I don't know. Like I'm just because I can't like I haven't been paying enough attention. So I'm like, what actually is going on with this Trump situation? Like, is he allowed to run or not? Like what?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's allowed to run. The trials are all going on, but none of them are for things that could stop him from running. Now, what they could do is if he runs and wins and he loses one of these trials, try to impeach him for high crimes or misdemeanors.
Right.
But as for running, yeah, he's allowed.
Is Biden like definitively running again? Because he said he absolutely was not going to, right?
Yes, he absolutely did say that.
Okay, because I at the very least I didn't pay attention to a lot of shit.
Hang on. He hinted very strongly that he wasn't, and then changed his mind.
Okay.
Yeah, the funniest part about the announcement was, or I remember at least, there was some kind of conference call at the time with a whole bunch of Hollywood executives and or movie stars,
Hmm.
Mhm.
or movie stars who are representatives of like trade groups and stuff in Hollywood. And whoever the Democratic or White House official they were talking to on this call was, they were begging them, drop Kamala. You have to drop Kamala. She is a
Yep.
dead weight. And at the time, I thought, he'd be well advised to get somebody else in there because I really wonder if people are going to be seriously thinking about it, because they should. If you're voting for Biden this year, you really also have to be sure that you want to vote for Kamala Harris for president, because every day the likelihood that something happens to Biden, either health wise or otherwise, that takes him out of being able to perform his duties, you know who your president's going to be. And do you want it to be Kamala Harris?
I don't know, man. I
No.
swear to God, like, and I'm not even like, people say this as a joke, but seriously and genuinely, I forget that we have a vice president often. Like, because you don't hear nothing. Like, this is probably the only presidency that I've ever like actively been conscious of where you hear nothing about the vice president ever. It's like she doesn't exist.
Well, to hear it from her side of the camp, she basically doesn't even exist in this campaign. I looked at I mean, I got to tell you, CNN has been doing some yeoman's work on looking at the deep inside of Kamala Harris's office and her role in the campaign the last couple of years. They put out an article, I think, within the first year of her tenure, that was a novella, and it was essentially one of those tell-all books you'd read after an administration's closed up, with all the skeletons in the closet and everything. But recently, she's been going around effectively trying to claw her way into relevance in a campaign that carries her name. And it's really, I mean, it's both sad and funny and depressing at the same time to see that she's not even respected within the White House itself or the party, but she's scrambling, and she's the vice president of the United States.
Well,
It's so out of sorts. It is completely out of sorts.
I did see one of those videos, and I know you always got to take these little clip videos with a grain of salt, because
Sure.
usually they'll ask a whole bunch of people one question, and
Yeah.
chances are it'll be like 100 people, and they'll take like 5 of them and be like, "Look what all these people said," and it's always to fit whatever narrative they're trying to push. So grain of salt, but still, like he was asking young people, like, basically, who's the vice president right now? Like, what do you know who the vice president is? And people like, honestly, like, I don't
In
know.
fairness, if you go back, I don't think Carson ever did it, but I think did Letterman do it? They've done this for years and years and years as a way to make fun of the fact that nobody knows our vice president. Go back to when Quayle was all over the news, never for the
Yeah.
right reason.
Right.
And yeah, people still couldn't name who the hell he was.
Well, the vice president doesn't need to be I mean, by the Constitution, they're not meant to be a very visible presence in the first place. They're just there to preside over the Senate, break ties, and take over for the president in case he needs to be
Yeah,
taken
they
over
just in
for it.
case.
I mean,
Yeah, just in case.
but Biden was hella visible during Obama's presidency.
They hid Biden for a long time.
Yeah, and the only time you ever heard about Biden is when he said something stupid.
Yep, and that's when he'd go away again for long stretches of
Yeah.
time.
No, the only vice president of my memory that was relevant was Cheney, just
Cheney.
because he was running the White House.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, outside of that, yeah, I mean, the vice president has only so much power or sway as the president decides to give them. And in this instance, Biden was honor bound to give her something to do upon the election because she was so historic and everything else. And what's he hand her? Essentially being the border czar in all but name. And we saw how that went.
Well, we see how that's going.
Oh man. Oh.
Great, by the way. It's going amazing.
Oh yeah. No,
actually.
it's going gangbusters.
I don't know, man. Like, initially, I did think genuinely that the whole plan was to get her into the presidency at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point in the first place. Like I thought that was like the whole game from the beginning. But even now, I'm just like, I mean, how? Like,
You're right. I thought for sure they thought Biden was dying and they were going to get him out in the first 2 years.
Right.
maybe
But the
that's
whole-
still it. They're like, fuck, dude, he won't die.
No,
Like
it's
he's still
Too
alive.
late now. Too late now.
They were going to raise her capital, her political capital, because her rollout was so bad, so
Mhm.
horrible, and she was their heir apparent, and they just hadn't paid close enough attention to who she was.
Well,
And now
it's
that they can see it, they're like, "Fuck."
it seemed like it backfired for them because initially, like when I first started hearing about her, the only thing I was hearing about her was the fact that she was black. Like that was it. That was like
Yep.
the thing. And then once people realized, like, wait a minute, I know who that is, and more people started to talk about it, more people was like, wait a minute, no, she's not a good one. Like we know her history, like we know what she's been up to, and it seemed like the more she was putting herself out there, the more people was like, no, not that one. we need another brown one. She's not the right one. I'm just like, bro.
Well, they really did make a political mistake in thinking that black people would back her just because she's black,
Oh yeah.
Right.
without realizing what and I do mean this sincerely, what she personally did to the black community there in California.
Mm-hmm.
She was in charge of a lot of the decisions that really screwed people up. She broke up families for generations. And the Democrats, well, they'll just run to her because she's black. I'm like, I don't think so.
Well, I think they were hoping that she really pushed the female vote too. I think they were
Sure.
kind of banking on because they like if all else fails and you know the color of her skin doesn't do it, like clearly because she's a woman that'll do it, right? And I'm just like, nah, man, like she losing on all fronts. Nobody
Yeah.
like her.
Well, I mean, one of the things I always said was for everything else that she has as a fault in her political prowess, let's say, I'm not sure anyone could have matched the level of historic this, that, or the other that she was put on before the election.
Mm.
Because you raise somebody up into, without actually having earned anything, put them up to a status of the most historic vice president we've ever had, groundbreaking, glass ceiling shattering, da 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 da. I think even a political operative would have a hard time meeting that kind of hype. But then you put Kamala Harris in there, who effectively had no experience in politics, no foreign policy experience, was not in any way, shape, or form ready for this job, and couldn't even carry her own state in the primaries that preceded it. Yeah, she didn't have a chance. So I feel a little sorry for her because she was kind of set up to fail. At the same time, she agreed to take on the job, so fulfill your responsibilities, and she just has failed everywhere.
She wanted it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, make no mistake, this was her doing as much as anyone else's because she
Mhm.
was hungry for this.
Yep.
It definitely seemed that way when she was running. I mean, well when they were like, you know, on the campaign trail and stuff, like it, I felt at above all other things, she was at least ambitious and like, you know, it felt like
Oh, sure.
this is something she was going after. And that's why I was so sure because she seemed so confident. Like I was just like, yeah, this is definitely a setup for her. But here we are, Biden's.
She's a very ambitious woman.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that over the past maybe year or so, but
Well,
They
she's
have-
trying. Yeah,
they
she's
have
held
pulled
back.
her back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they have constrained her because she doesn't do well in the public sphere. Every
No,
time she's given an
she's
interview,
terrible.
I mean, between
Fuck.
Lester Holt and March Madness, she can't even hold her own in anything of a casual conversation. And secondly, the other thing that they were always setting themselves up for is that she would immediately draw attention away from the boss
Yeah.
because she's younger. She's got, I mean, she could, well, actually, I don't know if she could actually hold her own against Biden in debate at this point.
No.
They might be on equal footing effectively, but but they don't want to draw attention away from Biden. They don't want to have her youth and her energy and her, if not well spoken, but at least more verbose self overshadow the boss. So they have to keep her on the back end. They have to kind of downplay her presence, which is a mistake. And I think, and not to be too hyperbolic, I think it's a disservice to the country, because you got to be honest with you. It Biden and Harris are a matched ticket in this campaign. If you're not voting for Kamala Harris for president, then you shouldn't vote for Biden for president, because that's what you're signing up for. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. What I really want to see, I genuinely
Mhm.
want to see a scenario where Kamala has to run against Biden, because I want to know, because obviously, like, they're on the opposition, right? Like, they have to kind of be against each other. I want to know. I'm dying to know what she has to say about him when she doesn't have to support him.
Oh, yeah.
I am dying to know.
Oh, just wait. Like I say, once this administration, whether it ends this November or 4 Novembers from now or whatever, whenever it ends and whenever he's finally passed away, there will be a Kamala Harris tell-all book, and she will make bank on her revelations of what it was like in the Biden White House and everything.
Darth says, I was going to send you some birthday borscht, but I only had potato water. So this is some Satsu lore, by the way. I was playing Cooking Simulator the other day, and this game, it's been out for a bit, and it has literally no traction. Like, nobody's playing it. Nobody's making videos on it. It is basically dead in the water. And I always wondered why, because I thought it was fairly decent. But I tried to stream it the other day, and holy hell, is this game broken as all shit. I mean, it's crazy how fucking broken this game is. Like, I followed all the ingredients. I was cooking borscht, and they're like, okay, here's all the stuff, you make it. And then I took the ladle and took it out of the pot and put it in a bowl, and it literally transformed into some completely other shit. Like, it was crazy. We were trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Sometimes I would pour it into the bowl, and the bowl would overflow so much that it would just vanish and disappear from this plane of existence. So there was no way for me to serve the things that I was making, because it was like some weird form of alchemy going on for transferring it from the pot to the plate. I was losing my shit. I don't think I've been that mad during a live stream in a long time. Red Chaos says, happy birthday. Thank you very much. No more Cooking Simulator for me, because that game was pissing me off. I was so mad playing that shit. I don't know how you make borscht and get potato water, but that's what I ended up serving to the guest. And unsurprisingly, I didn't get a high star rating on it.
Oh,
big shocker. But I should have gotten an award for some kind of fucking science or alchemy, because I did manage to turn borscht into potato water, apparently, which should be a miracle to some people, I think. But, you know,
that's some Messiah level stuff right there.
Yeah, it's just like, come on.
Water into wine.
That's pretty impressive. I basically what's the fucked up part is there are no potatoes in borscht.
What?
So how did I end up with potato water? The world may never know.
Is it Alchemy Simulator?
Man, look, whatever the fuck was going on in that game.
Down low it is.
I think that stream is still up. If you guys want to check it out. Speaking of streams, I've been telling Monkey about this, but I don't think I told you about it, Scribe. I started gaming again quite a bit and playing a lot on my gaming channel. And, you know, it's been little growth here, little growth there. We've played Ark, 7 Days, Far Cry series, all kinds of games. My channel has been growing more rapidly than it ever has since I started my gaming channel over the past month or so. You want to know the game I'm playing that's doing that?
Angry Birds.
No. Supermarket Simulator. Yeah, Supermarket Simulator. For some reason,
it's all the old people reminiscing about Supermarket Sweep. You remember Supermarket Sweep, Monkey?
I loved Supermarket Sweep.
Oh man, when you hear that beep on Supermarket Sweep, everybody's going for the coffee and the big like racks of lamb and everything and the detergent. Yeah, those are the days.
The best room.
That's absolutely no idea what we're talking about.
I know what supermarket sweep is.
He's
Oh, you do?
older.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I know. You're only 22. I don't know.
What the fuck? How am I getting younger and younger as the stream goes on?
Don't complain when my age comes to you. You'll be hoping people think you're young.
Satsu, it's the stream of Dorian Gray. Just go with it.
Thank you, Retro Spatula Fun. Appreciate it. And thank you for all the birthday wishes in the chat. Random says he's playing it right now. Dude, I don't know what it is about this game. Because I can't, like, I was talking to my mom about it because she like, you've been streaming a lot lately. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm like doing well over there, like playing this game. And she's like, well, what are you playing? And I'm like,
I don't want to tell you.
I'm like, Supermarket Simulator. And she's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm
Like, the hell are you doing?
it's a game where you simulate working in the supermarket. And she was like, and that's fun?
That's
Oddly
entertainment
enough,
for
it
people.
really is.
I'm like, it is. And I can't explain why. There is no way I can explain to you that this game is fun. Like, there's no, like, because if I tell you what I do in the game, like, if I explain to you what's being done, you're going to be like, okay, when does the fun happen, though?
Well, no, I can completely understand it. Have you ever seen? And I my sister showed this to me. Have you ever seen the kind of views that dermatologist blackhead removal videos get?
Oh,
Oh,
God,
yeah.
It's,
yeah.
I mean, the most mundane, gross, and or just procedural stuff.
Yeah,
Sometimes
fucking
is just-
toenail removal and shit. Yeah.
is it, yeah, ingrown toenails or something. It is, whatever. People love it. It's cathartic somehow. It's psychologically pleasing. So hey, whatever works.
Yeah, the other day I was streaming. Random just brought this up, but I was streaming, and some random dude pops in the stream, and he's just like, "Oh my god, that's a nice store you got there." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I've been working really hard on it." He was like, "Huh, it'd sure be a shame if all that hard work disappeared." I'm just like, what the fuck? Are you threatening me? Like, what is going on here? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, nobody has a bank account big enough to pay enough to make me to get rid of this place. And he was like, do you want to bet? And I'm like, all right, cool. So we went back and forth for a while because I'm just talking the shit. And he's like, all right, give me a price. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's do $500. $500, I'll delete the whole store and start over. Yeah, and I'm like, that'll shut him up, because who the fuck would pay $500 for some shit like that?
That guy.
That guy. And he was like, delete it. Everything. And I'm like, okay, so when you say everything, he like, everything. I want to see you take every individual thing, all the shelves, and I want to watch you throw it all in the garbage. So I had to go in and throw away every single thing in both my store and my storage room. And he was like, and you don't get to start over. You have to try to figure out how to get back to where you were now that you've thrown away all of your shit in your inventory. And I'm like, cool.
So basically, he created the Hostile Takeover DLC.
He activated the COVID mod.
Extortion Simulator 101.
Yeah, so
Wow,
it
all
was
right.
completely bare. Like, I had nothing but a
Yeah.
cash register and 2 shelves by the time it was over with. And he was like, well, good luck starting over. So I'm like,
Damn.
cool. So now I'm doing that shit and I'm trying to build back up. Lo and behold, next day I get back on and I'm just like, yeah, some fucking crazy person deleted my store. And this was a viewer who had been watching. He had already been watching me play the game. And he was like, dude, your fucking store is gone. And I'm like, yeah, some asshole made me delete it. But that's okay because I've been working hard and I managed to almost catch up to where I was. So the store is back in order. He was like, yeah, that's crazy. But wouldn't it be insane if somebody did it again? Just like, come on, bro. Just like, what the fuck? Like, there is no fucking way that 2 random people are gonna. And then the notification came through, and I'm like, fuck. So I had to do it again.
The series is Destroy Satsu's Supermarket, $500 a pop.
But
You should
see,
just name your stream that.
genuinely, my thought process was like, all right, if I make it outrageous, if I'm
exactly.
completely unreasonable, then because I could have said something like, but I'm like, no, because I don't want to actually start over because this shit takes forever. Like,
Right. There's got to be some reasonable incentive for that.
yeah, so I'm like, all right, let's, I mean, and everybody was like, oh, boo-hoo, you just made like $1,000. You had to start over. And I'm like, look, man, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I'm playing this up, but I'm greatly appreciative. Like, if I have to start over, I'm going to, because that ain't no little bit of money, but I don't want to. This shit is annoying, and I have to fucking do it all over again. But I'm kind of addicted to this game. I've been covering mods, and then the people who make the mods have been coming over to the channel, and they
Nice.
actually are commenting on the channel, like, thanks for covering my mod, and I'll send you updates and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, this is, how am I getting this much traction on this game of all games?
Hey, don't knock it. Whatever works.
Is it a
I mean,
kink thing?
if you hated the game, that'd be a completely separate situation. It's like, oh, I got to keep doing this thing because it's the only thing that's getting my channel any traction. But if you really like it, that's even better.
Yeah, and that's the fun part about it is like, I don't, and like I said, man, I'm trying to, even I try to convince myself, like, explain to yourself why you like this game. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
You should contact the devs and see if they'll come on or something.
Well, it's just one dude.
Oh, just one guy. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's one guy who made the game, and he had no, like, I guess he like, I haven't heard like the 100% truth behind this, but apparently he dropped the game and then kind of like disappeared for a little bit because he's like, okay, the game is out. I'm stressed out. I had a lot of stuff going on. It took me a long time to finally get this out. I'm gonna take a break for a while, come back, regroup, get my shit together. But when he came back, because there was like high profile VTubers and other very large streamers, what was it, Cage, one of Monkey's favorite YouTubers who used to do 7 Days to Die stuff, was doing videos on it, and he just didn't expect it to blow up as much as it did. And it's not like
Right.
massive, but it's on the front page of fucking Twitch games that are being streamed, which is, something to say about an indie game made by one person, So he came back to just like this overwhelming reception, and he's like, fuck. like, hi everyone. I didn't expect this many fucking people to be playing this game, but like, I don't know, man. It's therapeutic, which is weird because it's everything that a person who would like to work a job like that would like without the customers being assholes. It's just like all the things, like restocking shelves. I could do that shit all day. Especially if I ain't got to talk to nobody. I don't have to converse with people. It's just go and do this thing. I'm like, yeah, I could do that all fucking day. But yeah, like, and then there are people who are like, I just left my grocery store job to play Supermarket Simulator.
Yeah. It's practice. I can't escape. It's like one on any hellscape. No, please help me.
Oh, thank you, gamer. Oh yeah, and somebody said that too. Like, dude, you are pretty much the only channel that's covering mods on this game consistently. So like, when you search Supermarket Simulator mods, like my videos are some of the first ones that show up, and I've been
Nice.
doing showcases on every mod I can lately. So I don't know, like maybe it will get to the point to where this channel is growing, but it's going well, and it's on a game that I actually like to play, so that works too. But yeah, I figure it's in early access, and the dude has a long, extensive list of changes and stuff he wants to make for the game. So we're talking about one of those games that's probably going to be in early access for years to come. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be making content on it because
See if you get like some beta builds or something you can showcase on the channel. Or
that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm gonna try to see what I can do, but one of the hurdles is I have to use Discord now, and I'm just like, y'all know how I feel about Discord. That's like the truck drivers playing Euro Truck Simulator. Yeah, I seen it. Some of those people, man, they take that shit real seriously.
Oh yeah, like flight simulator, like pilots in flight simulator.
Understatement says, "Is that your new real job?" No, it's not. I don't make enough on the ad revenue as of yet for that to be the case. But my new job is I'm gonna be a cook at a retirement home, and I'm gonna be working quite a bit over the next few weeks or whatever, because she wants to get me trained up, and I got to learn a lot of shit in a short period of time. So
Just as a
Oh,
goof, you should
yeah.
apply at a local supermarket and put down for your experience.
Job experience. Yeah.
Supermarket Simulator.
Supermarket Simulator.
Yeah, I have 500 hours in Supermarket Simulator.
Oh, you know, it would be a great mod for that then. And I don't know if they already have this. Something like bougie supermarket simulator, where it's like Whole Foods or something.
Oh, dude. The reason why this game is actually, like, now that you mention that, part of the reason why this game is blowing up so much is because the mod scene is going crazy over there. Like, as soon as somebody released a mod that allows you to change cosmetically everything in
Oh.
the game,
Yeah.
like, so you can put any foods in there. There's German mods, French ones for like all the food they sell in France and Japan and Italy, and people are putting brands all these places. You can change the look of the all the food and stuff that you put in. Like, they're going crazy with the cosmetics, and they added an e-commerce one where you can open an online store. So now instead of just doing the regular, you can do online. People are adding palettes and other like stuff that you can put your stuff. Like, I don't understand how the mod scene got so crazy in this game, but it's nuts. There's
Wow.
like 20 mods a day coming out for this game. Which, I mean, you know, if you mod games a lot, that's a fucking ton. That's a ton of mods. That's like, you know, getting close, creeping up on Skyrim level.
I was about to say that reminds me of like a Skyrim type stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and everybody knows, like, if you know a mod scene can really hold the game up for a long time, even if no
yeah.
content is coming out for the game. So I'm excited. Like, obviously I'm gonna be working a lot, but fortunately the videos don't take a crazy amount of effort to make. Like, I can pump out a couple videos an hour, you know, if I really put my mind to it. Plus I have new video editing software because the last one I was using was garbage. So it's working out. It is working out. Oh, Scribbles, how much time you got again? I don't want to keep you too long.
Oh, maybe about half an hour or so.
Okay.
thereabouts.
I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get everybody back together so we can have a chat again, because Scribbles didn't tell you this, and I don't know if you know about this, but he's been doing fucking weird rituals on his channel to try to summon you. and
Oh, now you ruined it.
and and he fucked it up one time because he put monkey and I showed up.
Yeah.
That's
So okay.
racist,
So
man.
all
That's
right. All right.
racist,
Let
man.
me. This
I'm just
this
saying.
needs some context. This needs some context. Hold on. So I've been having quite a good run lately on my streams of having psychic moments where either without any without any information ahead of time or context, I'll guess what either is going to be said or something that I'll just belt out randomly, and then suddenly it'll come up in the stream or something in the videos I'm looking at, the articles. And so I thought, well, gosh, you know, if I can just kind of, it was the other day where I was doing a video that was coming from some executor club or something in Chicago, and all these people showed up in the chat. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I listed off everybody, and I was like, you know what would make this stream perfect, because this thing's taking place in Chicago? If Chicago Mike would be here. And then like 5 minutes later, hey guys, I didn't even know there was a stream, and Chicago Mike's in the stream. Like, oh my gosh, Chicago Mike just appeared. I just manifested him. I was like, I wonder if Ranting Monkey would show up if I just said his name, you know, like,
Oh, excuse me.
Ranting Monkey. And then about 10 minutes later, like Satu shows up. I'm like, I said ranting at the beginning, right?
Understatement.
Satu, what are you doing here? No, my aim was off. What the hell? Anyway.
Don't read understatements, chat. But
Yeah, you can't say that one out loud on here.
No, I just thought it was funny though, because he's like, I was trying to summon monkey. And I'm like, huh.
See, fortunately, I don't think of it in those ways, so it didn't even occur to me at the time. But hey, whatever.
Well, you shouldn't, because you're a good person. But everybody else in the chat, though, there's.
Well, yeah, I know. That tells you something about the quality of our chat. Tell you what.
Mm-hmm. No, but speaking of games too, apparently there is a 7 Days to Die VR mod.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
And I checked it out recently. I just uploaded a video of me trying it. It's pretty good. Like, a lot of games that get put over into VR, sometimes they just, you know, it don't translate well. You know, there's like a lot of, especially if it's a game with a bunch of buttons and stuff like that, and takes like intricate controls and stuff like that. You got a lot of things you need to do. It don't really translate all that well, but surprisingly, this game is pretty good in VR. And I'm like, I might have to try this out because
How much are those VR sets now anyway? I don't even.
well, the one I got was fairly cheap because it was the Meta one that came out. The Facebook one, they basically created one that they've been selling at a loss since it came out because they wanted to dominate the market.
Yeah, they thought the metaverse was going to bring them buco bucks, and then
so you can get
$10 billion wasted on that sucker.
Yeah, you can get the wireless ones where you don't need a PC setup. You can just kind of use it wirelessly and connect it to your PC wirelessly. You can get those for like $400-$500. And they're pretty good to be standalone headsets. Outside of that, if you want something that connects to your PC that's going to be, you know, really good, then we're talking $7+, upwards of $2,000 depending on what you're looking at. And, you know, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't got that kind of money. But I do have a lot of fun with my little Quest or whatever. Well, it's called the Quest before. The Oculus is what it was called before, and then they changed it to Meta, so now it's Meta. But yeah, I like it. A lot of people ain't too thrilled about it though. I know Monkey can't stand VR.
It's not. I just don't see the point of it.
Yeah.
Especially in some games like Phasmo, they still never got it to work quite the way it should.
Yeah, I'm still pissed off about that because Phasmo that game seems like it's built for it. And when I played it the first time, like I played the demo when they released the VR demo, for some reason the demo worked really good. But then every time I tried to play like the full game from it since then, I've never been able to get it to work. It's always fucked up. I don't know.
And I really don't like the price of the peripherals for it because wearing a monitor on your head and walking around your room a little bit ain't worth $600 to me.
I've just never seen it beyond anything other than a fad, like 3D TV and all this other stuff. And like you say, it's like I saw those ads for the Apple goggles.
Well, those are literally
just
just a fad, honestly.
Well, I know, but I mean, and I still don't understand why they didn't just call it the EyeSight, because that seemed like the best idea. But anyway, but yeah, like Monkey said, sitting around with a monitor strapped to your head, it just, I couldn't stand it for more than about maybe 10 or 20 minutes. I have to take it off. I just can't. Even headphones and things, I can only do about maybe an hour and a half on a regular stream because I get like sort of physically claustrophobic just sitting still and having the headphones on too long without being able to walk around and move or something. I have to take a break sometimes. But yeah, but being enclosed in that, I just, and there's only so many games that I think I could play without feeling like I'm going to smash into a wall or break my hand or something.
It took me a while to get into it because initially I was feeling that way too. But now that I've played enough games, like from beginning to end, I've messed around with a lot of the utility stuff or whatever, and just kind of, because like one of my favorite things to do is like whenever I'm watching anime or something, or if I'm watching a TV show or movie that I'm not watching with my family, I watch it in VR instead of watching it on my TV, because basically you can put on the VR headset, connect to your computer screen, and literally be sitting in a giant empty movie theater watching on a humongous TV. You know, I mean, like a big ass movie screen. And it literally, like, it feels so much like the movies that I watched the full movie and took it off and felt like I just got home from the movies. Like, it was crazy, you know, that type of, and then like, everything that's supposed to be, like, if you watch a 3D movie in VR, it automatically transitions over to 3D. Like, it's not anything you have to do to set it up. It's just in 3D because it's in VR. Or when I'm at my workstation, they have pass-through for the keyboard. So I could sit down on the couch, for example, have a wireless keyboard, and I got 3 virtual monitors in front of me. I could do work. Like, that type of stuff, utility-wise and playing games and stuff like that, I could definitely see the case used now. But, you know, I guess it just depends on what you're trying to go through to make that happen, because they got AR glasses now that do the same thing, where it's just like,
I just wonder about like the it's like I'm old, I guess, because I think about like the experience of playing video games when I was a kid, and part of it was you're sitting there with a bunch of friends
Mhm.
and everybody's taking turns with like I'm thinking of the old NES days
Right.
where it's like, okay, somebody gets a turn trying to get through this level on Ninja Gaiden or whatever, and they can't do it. And then you hand it off to the next guy, and you're all sitting there like having a shared experience. VR feels so or looks so isolating, you know?
Well,
You know.
on that note, most VR headsets connect wirelessly to smart TVs. So most of the time I've played group games, and there's also games too that you can play in tandem where you're in VR, you have on the VR headset, and everybody else, particularly on like PlayStation and some of the console VR headsets or whatever, where the people on the couch are controlling what's going on in the TV, and you have the VR headset on, and it's like a, what is it, asymmetrical? Is that what they call it? Kind of like that. And I've seen some games like that work. There was a game that me and Squishy played where I was the chef in the kitchen, and it was like a burger joint, and she could see on the TV the recipes and what the customers were ordering, and I was in the kitchen, and she would have to like verbally tell me what I was supposed to make. So we had to work together in this VR game. So I had on the headset and I was cooking like with my hands, and she was taking the orders, and I'm like, that's cool, because it's like, we're playing the same game, just experiencing it in different ways. So there's stuff out there like that, but unfortunately, you have to search for it because it's not abundant. And once again, like it's not something that's consistent. Like you play a game like that, and for every game you have like that, there's 10 useless ones that
Right.
aren't immersive at all. So I get people who don't believe in it who don't like it, but I've been using it long enough to where I'm like, I'm on board. Y'all, all right. I'm curious to see where this goes.
You also have to understand me and Scribbles, because Scribbles closer to my age than you are. This ain't the first time we've been through this. They've been trying to push VR.
Oh, yeah.
since
Yeah.
fucking ever.
That's the other thing. I mean, I used to play the blocky VR little station thing at the old arcade, and you run around doing everything. And even then, I thought, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting novelty. I just don't see. Well, I mean, I remember at the time I saw this in the arcade, and I thought, I can't imagine having this set up in my house. It's just this huge, because they had this. For those of you that weren't there at the time, they basically put you had this little like enclosure you were in. It's just like basically this little tube with like railings around it, so you couldn't wander off anywhere or fall or anything as you're using this thing. And they had these huge, even bigger than they are now, goggles over you, and you had this one little remote control thing you were using to move around in the space. And it was this it was like an exercise station. It was like trying to put like a weight set in a room, and it made sense for an arcade, but there was no way anybody short of a Microsoft millionaire or something was going to put one of these things in their houses.
Mhm.
And the experience was, like I say, interesting novelty, but not something that I could do for a long time because I get eye strain or headaches or something from looking at the screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just felt like 3D movies, like VR, like 3D TV, which has never really come about. It all just feels like a very overblown niche fad. Not saying it's bad. I'm not going to say that people that enjoy it are dumb or something. It just feels like, do I want to really invest that much money or time into something that I might pick up once in a blue moon? Because like you say, if there's not enough of a library of games that compel you to want to do it, then all you've got is just a bunch of stuff sitting around in your house that's just taking up space.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't help the fact that they've tried to make this take off several times now.
Right.
Like several.
I mean,
times.
the Apple thing was just the most recent one, and I was just like, how many times have I seen this exact same ad, and yet it's 10 years later or something? Because when did the first like?
Oh yeah,
Oculus
the
or whatever
announcement
come
for
out?
the original Apple headset came out so long ago that it became a meme every year that they would joke about the fact that it was finally coming out this year.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it was that was bad. And even though it's finally out, still, as people thought, the case use for it is so minimal, it's ridiculous, because once again, Apple has to be different than everyone else. And they're like, we didn't make this for the plebs. We made this for the elite, only special people can afford this expensive headset and that type of thing. And it has really no utility as far as gaming and stuff is concerned. Like all you can pretty much do is like their claim to fame is like, you put on the headset and you're in this virtual office with other people and you can have a meeting.
yeah.
And
oh boy.
you know, and it's like
This is what I want to do on my Friday nights.
it's
Whee,
their
I'm
real
in.
face, and you can see them and talk to them directly, and I'm just like, all
And have a
right,
video call. I don't need to spend $600 to get a laptop and a Zoom, for gosh sakes.
yeah, but
Anyway.
like I said, I've because Monkey, I told you I beat the entirety of Green Hell with the head in completely in VR, which was a completely different experience. Like that shit was crazy. There were, like I said, I was playing a couple hours one day, and Squishy came up and was like, "You good, dude?" And I'm like, "I'm good." I took the headset off, and she like, "Come in, come." You had a headset on for like 3 hours. Like, come and chill out with me for a second. And literally, I felt like I'm like, I've been gone all day, and I just got home. Like that's how it felt sitting downstairs on the couch, where I'm just like, I've literally been on an expedition in the woods, running from fucking, running from fucking leopards and trying not to step on snakes and spiders and shit. And now I'm sitting at home on my couch. Like that's how immersed I was in this game. Like to make fire, I'm like rubbing virtual sticks together, trying to fucking make a fire before I die of fucking hypothermia. I was like into that shit, and it was an experience, man. But like I said, you gotta. That's what they say about VR too. Like until you've had an experience like that, there's no way you could reasonably look at VR and be like, yeah, this is a good investment. So I don't blame people. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. They kind of sold me on it. And if you guys see the full VR setup, like the ultimate VR experience, this dude's like on a fucking, it's like a treadmill kind of thing with a harness like around your waist, and you can full on sprint in this thing, like straight up run, like you're just running for real, and your feet basically just slide across it. And dude's got on a full body suit that has haptics inside of it that activate when you get shot or hit in a certain spot or whatever. And then the more expensive ones have temperature control, so when you enter a cold climate in the game, it gets cold. Like the whole setup, it's crazy. Like some
Can't
of
wait
the
for
stuff they have.
smell-o-vision. It's like I'm walking through a swamp. Well, it smells like shit.
That's part of the problem with it, is to get something that would be that immersive is incredibly expensive.
Oh, we're talking
Right.
tens of thousands of
Yeah.
Oh,
dollars.
jeez.
I'm like crazy expensive. So yeah, and that's part of the reason why it's moving so slowly, is because it's just so out of reach for the masses. But that's the good reason. That's kind of good why the Quest came out. And even though, you know, they haven't changed the world with it, it has opened up the idea of VR being a more accessible thing. Because the only other thing that was as accessible as the Quest was like the Gear. Remember Samsung's one that they had? You put your phone in it. They had that little headset where you can just like snap your Samsung phone into it or whatever. That was like probably the most accessible it's ever been until the Quest. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I hope that it gets better and goes somewhere, but I guess we'll have to see. Either way, though,
So what are your, so getting back to your birthday for a second,
yeah.
aside from the new job and everything, do you have any other goals or things you're looking forward to in your new year on the planet?
Well, this year I'm focusing on getting out of debt because that's the main
okay.
thing.
Fair enough.
Because it's just been a bit of a struggle. So I'm gonna have to go pretty hard at this new job, and hopefully Squishy can find a decent enough side hustle or maybe like a part-time job that she can work. And as soon as I get to the point to where like my debts are paid off and I'm good again, I am going full on with my business, because I've been putting stuff in place, and I've been looking at places, looking at the licenses and stuff that I need, and talking to people, and not just the spices or whatever. Like I've been working on my recipes and stuff behind the scene for the fried chicken stuff that I'm gonna be making and everything. Like I've been really doing this stuff, and I have all the stuff I need in a cart on Amazon and on a couple other websites to get set up to where I can get a tent and you know, go somewhere like to festivals and fairs and stuff like that and set up my tent and really start going after this food business stuff, because I've been inspired by a lot of stuff that I've been seeing and a lot of people that I've been talking to lately, and like I'm going after this stuff. So hopefully by the end of the year I will have the groundwork laid to really start going after my food business that I want to open. So that's the plan, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I'm still selling spices on my website, as everybody knows. People who tried them seem to like them a lot, and that's kind of it for now. I'm gonna just be working, trying to get my money up, get out of debt, and get this food business going, and try to get a food truck at some point, so I can start coming to y'all.
And I got to update my my Satsu ad.
Yes, because you keep telling people that I'm selling flour, and I'm just like, I'm not selling flour mixes.
Well, I mean, they're okay, I thought but I thought I read from your website that they're flour mixes. Maybe I'm just-
They were,
Yeah, okay.
but I had
I'm
to
out of
change
date.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta update that. Okay.
Because I'm like, basically, the reason that I ended up switching is because remember I told you you can sell flour from your house, and you can
Right,
sell
right.
spices from your house. You cannot sell them combined for some
Right.
reason. And I'm like, huh. That's
Spice mixes. I'll say spice mixes.
yeah, spice mixes, spice blends, whatever you want to say.
Spice
just
blends. There you go. Okay.
not flour mixtures. 'Cause people hear that and they're like, what the
alright,
fuck
that
I'm
was
gonna do
my
with that? But yeah. And also thank you for all the promotions, even though I'm just like, I'm gonna go say hi to Scribe. And
Well, you just remind me like, oh yeah, I have this ad. I mean, I had meant to start like playing it more frequently back in the day, but now I just need to stop. It's more like I guess it's more like an inside joke now than anything else.
right.
Except this is your business. And I'm like, no, it's not a joke. I gotta get it right. So I gotta re-record it and re-edit it and put something together.
Right. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as usual.
Oh, always fun, my friend.
Sure.
Yes. I got nothing but love for you bastards, even though we don't talk as
Yeah.
much as we used to.
Yeah, we're always here.
And then everybody in the chat, thank you for coming out and hanging out. And I know it was really short notice, but you know, birthdays typically are.
Are you doing anything for yours, Monkey?
No, well, normal stream, but not a special one for it.
Okay. When's that going to be now?
Sunday or Monday, depends on how late
Okay.
I go Sunday night.
All right. Well, if I'm awake and around, I'll try to visit if you'll have me.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
You guys are both always welcome on my shows, dude.
Good, because I was gonna come anyway.
That's right. Barnstorm the whole thing.
That's right. We gonna be there before you. But yeah, guys, thank you for hanging out. Much appreciated. Things have been going well for me, even though my presence online has not been what it used to. Just know that I'm doing fine. I don't know when the next reunion's gonna be. Probably, well, maybe in a couple days. Shit,
who
because
knows?
of Monkey's birthday. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and do something productive. You fucking bastards.
He ain't your
Yay.
real dad. You do what you want to do.
Yeah, your real dad hasn't come back from cigarettes yet.
Well, no, some of them went to go get milk.
Oh, right, milk. Sorry. Yeah, because milk does a body good and cigarettes are bad for you kids.
That's
Okay.
right. You got to at least give the illusion that your dad made good choices health wise.
That's right. Oh boy.
But taking care of his kid though, that's out of the question.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out, guys. Again, everybody have a wonderful night. We'll see you guys eventually.
Eventually.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.